road and entered the tall pine forest, the trail became everything Travis had imagined it would be. Okay, that's a good book. So if you're stuck trying to dry walnut in the wet spots, it's nice to have a good book. And a friend of mine wrote this book. Really good book, by the way. And Eat a cinnamon roll, which is also good. So you just got to make sure your hands aren't too dirty to lick them. And a good cup of coffee. But we have a problem sometimes with walnut when it comes out of the kiln. And it's a normal problem with walnut in any dryer. A vacuum dryer, a dehumidifier dryer. We're using solar kilns. And in solar kilns, we can take that walnut down to that 6 to 10% range. But there are pockets of the walnut that will still run in the 14 to 24%. It'll be a little pocket in a whole slab that's 12 foot long and 3 feet wide, and there are these pockets of moisture that you got to get out. So what we've done is we've experimented in different ways to be able to figure out when you've got that down and you're ready to use it, not necessarily for the kiln, for the drying company, but for the end user, which we are in this situation. Our dryer we had too much moisture in a piece of walnut. So I kind of wanted to find out how long does it take for the heat to transfer through the wood. So we just put together a few items here, hopefully to help in you as the end user. You're drying walnut, or you get a piece of walnut, you've checked the moisture in it, it has a little too much moisture in spots, and you've got to get it out. So this is from Harbor Freight. This is a heavy-duty blow dryer. You can see the name of it there. It runs right now in my temperatures. I have little temperature marks on here, and it's running at this distance at about 8 inches away. It's running about 289 degrees, 298 degrees, and we've registered about every 15 minutes or so. And you can see the registrations. We started at 66 degrees on this board. So you can see a little browning in this spot. Ouch! And so it gets a little brown right in here where we're doing it, but I'm not moving it. I want to see how hot that board gets on the other side. For safety reasons, so that I don't burn my hair, the auto ignition point of wood, that means it's going to catch on fire without a flame, is at 570 degrees Fahrenheit. The hottest temperature reading that I have for this wood is 298 degrees. It's been staying around 286 to 289 degrees. And I'm about 8 inches from the wood with this dryer. Now, on the other side, this is nice edges though, so that we can touch it. Thank you, boys, for this little thing. We come over here, and this is the gun I'm using. This is just an infrared temperature gun. Over here, the transfer from one side on an 1.5 inch piece of walnut to be able to boil that water inside, because that's kind of our goal in this experiment. We want to boil that water inside, move it out, and get it out of there in these hot spots of water. So we're running this to find out what the temperature is at 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and how long does it take to penetrate. So we're running, and I have a piece of metal sheeting on the bottom, by the way, which wherever the metal's touching the wood, down here, it goes up to 130 degrees on the edge of the wood here. Right now, I'm running 123 degrees in my transfer. The other side is 289. This side's 123 from 11:43 to 12:51. So we're just over an hour. It's taken over an hour to get up to 123 degrees. So I'm still not at that boiling point on this side, but I am able to take care of some of it on the other side. So we're 89 degrees out here, 100 degrees here, and we're only 6 inches away. So 6 inches over here, and that's just probably from the deflection of the heat headed that way. But we're a few degrees hotter over here. Again, only 6 inches, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe 8 inches apart. And then down here, we're higher. So we're going to find out what kind of moisture readings we get on this after we're done cooking it. So, too fun. It's better to eat the cinnamon rolls than it is the walnut. You might have some digestion problems. Thanks for watching. Wyoming Woodworks here in the School of Hard Knocks.